Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week, and it was a big week at the comic shop. 10 comics, including 2 double-sized comics, so it was extra priced this week. I think 10 comics cost me $44. That was big bill. That was twice my normal bill. I've been getting a lot of big bills in January, I think. I don't know what it usually used to be. There's no comics in January. Now there's I guess there's a lot of indie comics in January, since Marvel and DC don't always put out the same amount. But first, let me start with my top of the printer museum covers. And I really like the primary colors in these two. We got an issue of Grimjack. What issue is this? Issue number 15. So that's Tim Truman. And I love the red and yellow logo with that really nice blue behind it, and this big blue truck as these Grimjack and this guy fight on it. I think that's a really cool one. This wheel's on fire. And the other one is Jack of Hearts number 1 from Marvel. Let's see, what year is this? 1983. And I think this GF on that, I think that was George Freeman was his name. Once again, really nice drawing. Very kind of Michael Goldenish, this drawing. And of course, he's the 3 primary colors in his costume. So both of these, really, the colors and the drawings jumped out at me on these two when I pulled them off my shelf to have on this week. But really like those two. I don't think I've seen any of these covers in a while. I don't think I've seen this cover. It's been on my shelf since 1983, but I don't think I've looked at it in decades. Grimjack I recently reread, so I know I've seen this cover, but I didn't remember it. So really, really, really nice colors. That blue is beautiful on there too. But anyway, there's our top of the printer museum covers for the week. Now let's see what I bought. We've got Nocterra is back. Number 7, Scott Snyder, Tony S. Daniels. Who's that third name over there? Marcelo Melo. This is the one that takes place in the dark. The sun has gone black. Still get sunlight through monsters are in the blackness and this and that. So I've known 3 days of sunshine my whole life. But this one grew on me as the issues went by. By issue 6, I was really enjoying it. Let's see, what else do we have? The Magic Order Volume 2. Number 3 is this? Oh, issue 4, pardon me. This is the guy the magician who's a junkie, so he just messed up at the end of last issue. But this is kind of following who is it? Stuart Immonen, Mark Millar's general playbook, in that the Magic Order is getting their asses kicked by the evil Magic Order, and that's the general Mark Millar playbook. Is the heroes get their asses kicked for a while, then they come back and kick ass. That's how it goes. But like the Stuart Immonen art, I enjoyed Volume 1. I'm enjoying Volume 2. Not the greatest comic ever, but it's fun and well done. Let's see. We got some Cerebus in Hell 2022. This is another one that he made a calendar out of. I think he did one of these last year. So it's a Cerebus in Hell calendar too, as well as. Oh, and it looks like, and this one that cover was not popular with cover collectors, because this is issue 565 out of 1683. So there's only less than 1,700 copies of this out there. And here's one, Defective Comics. I think that's next month. I imagine the print run's going to go up on that because it's a Detective Comics cover swipe. So we'll have to see with the print run. That print run might be around 2,500. What else do we have here? Ooh, the very final issue of Terry Moore's Serial, where our little girl, who's actually a ancient demon, is hunting down a serial killer. But the serial killer kind of got the best of her at the end of last issue, I think. So it's Terry Moore. It's always good. Whatever he does next, I'll buy that too. So I can't wait to see how this ends. I don't want to show you too much of it and spoil it for myself. What else do we have here? Oh, the latest issue of Spawn, 326. Still only $2.99. Now that Saga's back, it's still only $2.99 too. So there's two $2.99 comics. That's the reason I get Spawn. I feel I have to support it. It's only kind of middle of the road. I'm not a huge Spawn fan, but I like the artwork in this one too. But Todd McFarlane's not the greatest writer, no secret. But this one was written by Rory McConville, so it might be better than usual. I think he's been writing the last few issues. I guess McFarlane's writing some of the other Spawn books. So Rory McConville has been taking over this one. But I don't even know what the plot is. Something about spawns fighting each other and someone trying to take over the world, stuff like that. For $3, it's worth a read. Oh, here's one of the expensive ones I got. A special. The Official Image Timeline. I have no idea what this is. I bought it sight unseen. I should say I ordered it sight unseen. Just because I love comics history. Oh, it goes through month by month what was going on with the Image Comics guys. I don't know what an issue of Gru has to do with it in Epic Comics. We'll have to see. But look at that. I'm looking forward to, I wish it wasn't square bound and it opened up all the way, but you know. 30 years of awards compiled by somebody else. So I guess those are all the Image books that used awards. And there's a wraparound of all the, oh look, there's G-Man. Chris Gerusso's book. Nice to see that there. And here's all their Saga. Oh, one thing I noticed too, I always kind of want to get I have no CGC books. And I always kind of go, let me go on eBay and see what cheap CGC books are out there. Just to like one day buy one for my collection to have it. And I noticed this Jupiter's Legacy, #1, there are 9/8 for $30 plus shipping. That seems to be the most plentiful, cheap CGC book is Jupiter's Legacy #1. That one right there. I just discovered that looking a couple days ago. And here's another one that was a surprise. The Goon, #14 by Eric Powell. I say it's a surprise because it didn't show up in my comics that are coming out this week email. It looks like he's doing it himself again. It says by Eric Powell. So there were some other people working on the Goon, like issues, I don't know, 9 through 13. This is issue 14. So I'm glad to see he's back doing some Goon. I know I'll enjoy that. And here's the other expensive one. I wasn't even sure if I was going to get this or not because it was $8, but I decided to. It's the 80-page Geiger special. I mean, 80 pages for $8 isn't that bad, but I wasn't sure if I liked Geiger that much. I bought the first 6 issues of the series and enjoyed them well enough, but then there was like 80-page giant. This is Jeff Johns and who did the original ones? What's his name? Jeff Johns and Gary Frank did the original series. Now we've got Brian Hitch, Kelly Jones, Sean Galloway, Janet Harvey, Novella, Peter J. Tomasi, Pornsack, Pichot, and more. So, Goldbeard's Secret Treasure, The Victims of Safari Bob, Tales of the Unknown War, The Most Wanted Woman Alive, Bonnie Borden, The Secret Origin of Barney, Milky Way, The Disco Queen. Lots of stories. It feels nice too. That's got a good texture, that cover. Wow, nice. It's like a matte finish, but it feels good in my hands. So, for a hand feel, this comic wins this week. Let's see. We got 2 more. We got Crossover #11. This one's been fun. Comic book writers have been showing up in it, and as the world of superheroes crosses over into our real world, and the superhero people have Ben-Day dots on their face that aren't really Ben-Day dots, but that's a whole other story. There's a website dedicated to that. I accidentally looked at the last page and spoiled it for myself, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. So I won't show you the last page in there, but it was pretty cool. And there we go with Ant #2, my final comic of the week. This is the one Eric Larson, I guess there's going to be an Ant #3. I'm just picking this up because Eric Larson is doing it. Ah, cool. Uh, I, I just like Eric Larson's enthusiasm for comics. That's what keeps me reading Eric Larson stuff. He really likes comics. He really likes making comics. And I find the stuff he does, even if it's not my favorite thing in the world, his enthusiasm always gets me. So that's what I like about his stuff. Let me show you a little of my artwork. I've got my Patreon if you want to support my art down below. So take a look at that. What did I do this week? Oh, I did this. I colored another Dreams of Things. I marker colored this one. You know what's weird? Since this one's only got one figure, I'm just kind of like, I don't like it as much as something with a bunch of different figures and faces on it. But I look at it and it's okay. I mean, it's fine with me. I find it interesting, but for some reason, with only one figure, I don't find it as interesting as I find other things. I mean, that doesn't mean you don't have to find it as interesting. You can. But me, but I think it's kind of like, what are those things? What are those things getting at him? What are those strange, sharp... It's like, I like it, but I'm like, I wish there were more figures in it. I don't know where I'd put them. I don't know why there'd be more figures in it. But I look at that one and go, I need more figures. And I've also been doing a lot of art cards and cartoon art cards for my comic strip. Let me just show you a few of them. I've been doing a lot of these baseball card sized drawings, some with a lot of them with words for my... On Sundays on my Radiant Comics web comic website, I run a strip called Drifting and Dreaming that uses these as part of the artwork in the strip. So I have no, I've got all my Drifting and Dreaming strips. It runs once a week on Sundays on radiantcomics.com. I've got all my strips done of this through 2022. So now I'm like trying to get 2023 strips done. I just like being far ahead. It's fun. So I've been working on a ton of these just to get 2023's strips done. I'm weird like that. But anyway, some artwork, some comics, and you guys have a good week out there.